This is pretty cool. White House press secretary says videos of Biden lost and confused are deep
Ironically,
fakes.
several recent cheap fakes actually attack the president for thanking troops. For thanking troops. That is what they're attacking the president for. Both in Normandy, this happened, and again in Italy. And I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here. Instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos.
Bro, that's the worst possible thing you could say, because it's not a deep fake. Just say it's cut out of context. Like, it speaks to the desperation of the Republicans. You're gonna have to say that, obviously, to make it seem like Biden is like older than he actually is, or his performance is bad, because they're cutting videos out of context. That part is true. Okay, they are cutting videos out of context. Like the sit down video made it seem like he was shitting his pants, which he might have, who knows, but like that he was like looking for a seat that wasn't there. Why did they look like that? Well, because they cut it after he finds the seat and sits down alongside the rest of the leaders. Okay, the other video is the other one was like where he's looking at the wrong parachuter, where like everyone else is looking at the one guy that like basically lands in front of them, the one parachuter. He's looking at another guy going and he just looks like shit. He looks old as. You can't really fix that, but there's nothing you can do. They cut that also out of frame. They cut the other thing that he's looking at out of frame to make it seem like he's just looking at nothing. Obviously, him looking in that direction is still weird as and he still has the old man face. You can't really save that, where he just does this. You know, when you do that, it's just like you look like you're wandering off no matter what. You could be going in the right direction, and if you do this, if you do that, old man face, like ultimately, you know, good luck. Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, this is a selfie that he took with Barack Obama. Look at his okay, look at this. Look alive. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What the going on? All this is so much more intense without your facial hair. I know. This shit ain't AI generated. That shit's just how he looks. He can't help it. He's old as bro, that's it.
That video.
Okay, let's talk about Juneteenth. The president was there listening to music and he didn't dance. Excuse me, I did not know not dancing was a health issue.
That video was okay. Let's talk about Juneteenth. The president stood there listening to the music and he didn't dance.
Bro, this is so. We are so cooked. We are so cooked. We are so mother cooked. What triggered Joe Biden to lose his temper at a TikTok star and threaten to throw his phone at a White House party as the president scrambles to earn love from influencers?
Speaking as a member of the press.
This is Jonathan Katz, a moot of mine. He's a journalist. Pretty good coverage overall. He's not even full blown like on the Biden camp. I would go so far as say like he's done TikToks specifically talking about like how Biden is better at the end of the day than Donald Trump. You know what I mean? He does a lot of great coverage on Israel. Let's see what the happened here with my moot.
I actually live in Charlottesville.
Oh, do you really?
Yes. And I'm wondering why. So you made a statement the other day about the student protesters on college campuses,
yes,
in which you basically remarked that they were anti-Semitic protests. And I'm wondering if you still stand by that statement, and also why you just signed a bill giving $26 billion more to Israel in the midst of what is plausibly considered a genocide by the ICJ?
The answer is twofold. Number one, Israel's security from the region is essential. It's essential. That's fundamentally different than how Israel acts in Gaza. I've been, as you probably know, putting extreme pressure on the Israelis.
Damn, Israel's security is essential. Right? Is essential for what, man? What are we talking about? Look alive.
In Gaza.
He's saying Israel's security is essential. Very different from his operations in Gaza, which is going above and beyond. Maybe not so essential. All right, okay.
As you probably know, putting extreme pressure on the Israelis to back off and open up humanitarian
He's saying he's putting extreme pressure on the Israelis to open up aid routes. I'm going to add that in there. Into Gaza.
access. Open up humanitarian access.
Yeah.
in Gaza.
Open up humanitarian access.
And I think we're getting close.
You basically proposed your own Gaza flotilla.
Also, by the way, he is not answering that question. He said, why? I'm from Charlottesville. Why did you say the pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campus are anti-Semitic? No answer to that whatsoever. And then the follow-up was, and the second question was basically, why are you still giving Israel $26 billion in aid? He didn't answer the first part at all. And he immediately went into aid. Well, it's because Israel's defense is essential.
We're going to...
Beyond that, yeah. And I'm pushing hard. And if they're not going to volunteer to do it, we're going to impose it.
But can't you use the
Show you
power?
a picture of you
With my father.
with my husband's
I'm
father,
Bill Bader's son.
Bader.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, sorry.
You got good luck, kid.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa, you serious?
Yeah, Bill Bader.
That's you.
Oh, I know me and I know Bill.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
He loved you.
Thank you, sir.
He really loved you.
Thank you.
As do we. Thank you so much, sir.
We read your letter to us, and it's you. Excuse me.
Oh my God, I remember.
I just have to tell
Delaware.
you to my family. Thank you, sir.
What's going on? Why is he crying? Did his son die or something? Did that guy's son die or something? He's talking about how his... What happened?
I'm sorry, sir, but we have your...
My dad used to say, family's the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're a typical press guy. You're grabbing me in front of this, all this. And I trust you as far as I throw your phone. I have a good arm, man.
I'm sure you
I can throw it a long way.
You keep asking these questions. I'm about to throw your phone away, Jack. He's doing the
But my
look
point is
alive
this,
fat to this guy, to Jonathan Katz.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're a typical press guy. You're grabbing me in front of this, all this. And I trust you as far as I throw your phone. I have a good arm, man.
I'm sure you
I can throw it a long way. But my point is this.
Yes.
I have made very clear to the Israelis what they have to do.
Have you? Have you? He just got done tearing up and went into auto rage mode. Yeah. I got a good arm. I could throw your phone away. Wait. I can trust you as far as I can throw you, and I have a good arm. I just realized, doesn't that mean that you can actually throw it far away, as in like you trust him a lot? Because normally you say I can trust you as far as I can throw you, and I can't throw you very far because you're a human being, right? But he said I can trust you as far as I can throw your phone, and I have a really good arm, implying that he can throw the phone far away. So that means you trust him a lot. Okay, that's nice. Despite being able to throw very far, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
In the near term, if they don't, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? Is the U.S. going to cut off funding?
A lot.
I came because usually you tell me I have a nice suit and you didn't comment on my suit today.
He said, what's going to happen? A lot. Yeah, so nothing. Okay, what has happened so far? Nothing. So I am expecting the same exact nothing to continue happening, because that's what was happening ahead of time. That's what was happening already. Red line 2, baby.
So I don't feel
You guys say so.
offended.
Thank you.
Can you sit back in, sir, please? Thank you.
They so politely lead you out of there. That's pretty funny. Daily Mail is trying to be extra with it. You know, he didn't say he's going to chuck his phone. It's not like an immediate threat to that. Like, I don't think it's as severe as a threat as people make it. But anyway, speaking of which, this could have been an interaction between Joseph Robinette Brandon and Austin Show if he went to the LA fundraiser. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is campaigning in the battleground state of Michigan, where the Turning Point USA, aka Toilet Paper USA conference was happening. Folks, we are back. I'm sorry, but you're interviewing the POTUS and can't be bothered to keep him framed properly. We're expected to take him seriously, and Hasan is acting like we should be taking this seriously too. Wait, what? Bro, what do you mean? He's like trying to literally do an impromptu question with a phone camera directly in his face. That's the best you're going to get, dummy. It's not like he has a team over there. The are you talking about?
Presidential politics from both presumptive nominees. Former President Donald Trump campaigned in the battleground state of Michigan while President...
That's a wild thing to be upset about, dude. Actually, but respect. Yeah, we got the Toilet Paper USA coverage lined up and ready to go. Here it is. Okay, don't you worry about it, baby. I got it. I got it all. There's some known characters, some famous characters up in this bitch too. Some of your faves. r/I hate the cameraman so much and my ex-wife.
President Biden traveled to California, where he joined former President Barack Obama at a star-studded Hollywood fundraiser. Nancy Cordes has more now from the White House. She's been following it. Nancy, good morning.
Tony, good morning to you. Happy day after Father's Day. The Biden campaign says the president raised more than $30 million at this weekend's L.A. fundraiser. That was
Obama! Obama! The campaign trail is back, folks. That's right. We got Obama. We got Joe Brandon. We got famous celebrities on the one hand. On the other hand, we got Donald Trump going to Toilet Paper USA conference talking shit, talking big shit. Obama! All right. We're gonna be doing it all. We're gonna be doing the dang thing. Okay. Since when was HasanAbi anti-Obama? What? Or you must be new here. Following since 2021, 11/24. How have you, like, not even on accident heard me fucking talk about Obama with negative terms quite a bit? You know, that's my drone goat, dude.
We're going to stand with Ukraine.
back in the States this weekend. Former President Donald Trump called Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky the, quote, greatest salesman of all time.
Every time he comes to our country, he walks away with $60 billion.
Trump claimed he'd be able to end.
He's cooking, dude. Zelensky, he's such a salesman. Put a suit on. Folks, I'm always saying, why won't he put a suit on? Very disrespectful. Your Obama accent is one of your best. Please do it. Not really. Dur açıyorum kapıyı geldi. Şu anda içeri girdi. Evet. And pussy too. I think I got the right stuff. Chaperone is my favorite. She is a gay icon. Why did you say your Obama impression is good? Do it. And what, you thought that I was going to do like a Steven Crowder style, like racist, cartoonish black person voice or something? Is that what you thought I was going to do? That's what Steven Crowder does. His Obama and his Morgan Freeman. Anytime Steven Crowder is doing like a black person's voice, he literally does Chris Rock, or not Chris Tucker. Sorry. It's the same voice.
The 2.5-year war right away.
I will have that settled prior to taking the White House as president-elect. I will have that.
That's how you know he's racist.
Trump made those comments in the battleground state of Michigan, where at a separate event to court black voters, he said this about President Biden.
He's been the worst president for black people. He's been the worst president for Hispanic people.
A recent CBS News poll finds President Biden holds a large lead nationwide among likely black voters, but not quite as large as it was in 2020.
He's been convicted of...
In a new ad out this morning, the Biden campaign takes aim at Trump's recent guilty verdict in his hush money trial.
This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
At one of his events this weekend, Trump said that some of the leaders at the Pentagon are, quote, weak, pathetic, and bad. He's expected to meet with House Speaker Mike Johnson today at Mar-a-Lago. Speaker Johnson saying confidently that they are going to be discussing plans for after the election. Nate?
Nancy, thank you.
So it's been almost 2 years since the largely Trump-appointed justices in the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. And
don't hiss. Vote.
They're not booing, they're saying Roe. These threats to abortion rights, to women's rights, to even to birth control and IVF are not in our liberal imaginations anymore. They're very real. And these decisions, these very personal, intimate decisions are now being made by 9 unelected judges, one of whom flies his flag upside down. The other one of the others drives around in a $267,000 gift on vacations. And I think we are all wondering, what can we do about this?
Elect me again. I'll tell you why. No, I'm not just saying. The next president is likely to have 2 new Supreme Court nominees. 2 more. He's already appointed 2 that have been very negative in terms of the rights of individuals.
Wait, what does he know, bro? Hold up. He's saying he's going to kill 2 Supreme Court justices? I'm listening. Sir, before you had my interest. Now you have my attention. What are we talking about here? I like what you have to say.
Can we do about this?
Elect me again. I'll tell you why. No, I'm not just saying. The next president is likely to have 2 new Supreme Court nominees. 2 more. He's already appointed two that have been very negative in terms of the rights of individuals. The idea that if he's reelected, he's going to appoint two more flying flags upside down is really, I really mean it.
Could this be the scariest part of all of it?
Well, I think it is one of the scariest parts of it. Look, the Supreme Court has never been as out of kilter as it is today. I mean, never. I taught constitutional law for 9 years. This guy knows more about it than most. Look, the fact of the matter is that this has never been a court that's been this far out of step. And by the way, when we said after the decision that overruled Roe v. Wade, the Dobbs decision, you had Clarence Thomas talking about the fact that there are going to be other things we should reconsider, including in vitro fertilization, including contraception, including all these things. And they're going. By the way, gay rights. But by the way, not on my watch. Not on my watch.
He says that like it's not important to clarify which two is just Kagan and Sotomayor seats retiring that won't do shit. I would like, in my headcanon, to believe that he's saying he's going to kill two conservative Supreme Court justices. A very unreasonable, very unfortunate set of circumstances where you got two Supreme Court justices in the same RV. Can't have it, folks. Obama. Okay. All right. This part is pretty funny. This is from the Toilet Paper USA conference, I think, where Trump talks about acing his cognitive test, which I love. It's like saying you aced the ASVAB. Very cool, very funny stuff from Donald Trump. He's doing it again. He's doing it again, folks. He's doing the dang thing. Saying he aced his cognitive test is such a funny fucking thing. Like such a funny line. But anyway, let's continue.
It's like what happened yesterday when Donald Trump was talking about his former White House physician, Ronnie Jackson, at an event in Michigan.
I think you should take a cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. Dr. Ronnie Johnson, does everyone know Ronnie Johnson, congressman from Texas? He was the White House doctor, and he said I was the healthiest president he feels in history, so I liked him very much.
So he called him Ronnie Johnson.
Yeah, I like this because he did up his doctor's name, which is pretty funny, while talking about his mental competence. But like the media obviously being like, see, he's also senile is not the only you think it is. But anyway, let's continue.
It's Jackson, not the biggest mistake in the world, but of course he was talking about in the context of a cognitive test that he aced, and Joe Biden should too. Then he calls him Ronnie Johnson. That goes to the point of setting the bar very low that Biden may have to just step over.
Right, and if that happens during the debate, no doubt the president will try and point that out to everyone. Within 10 minutes of the debate ending, it will be a campaign ad. The Biden campaign has started to hit back against this perception that the president isn't fit mentally to serve by highlighting all of these gaffes that Trump makes on the campaign trail. In that meeting with congressional leaders the other day, he said that Milwaukee was a horrible city. Quickly, people came out and basically said, well, he was talking about the crime rate, et cetera, et cetera. But
there was about 50 different explanations.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone, it wasn't really a very smart thing to say when you're having a convention in Milwaukee and trying to win Wisconsin. So that's the kind of thing Trump comes up with now and again.
Within the issue of cognition and cognitive ability that has been brought up with Trump and in some cases with Biden as well, how do voters feel about the particular issue?
Yeah, they feel that both of these guys are too old. A lot of the commentary has so far been on Biden's age being too old, but the fact is, according to the voters, both of these guys are too old. Yes, a higher percentage believe that Biden is too old to be president than Trump. You see,
I'm sorry, brother, that's 54 to 79. They're both very old. This is correct. That's 25 points, man. That's 25 points. That's a quarter. That is an entire quarter more. That is insane. That's not like, oh yeah, everybody thinks they're both old. No, the irony is that Donald Trump in a normal election cycle reads as very old, right? Especially now. The only person where he doesn't read as old against is Joe Biden. That's the craziest consequence of this matchup, is that if Joe Biden, for example, had like Bernie Sanders level of cognitive capabilities, and Bernie Sanders is older than both of them, I'm simply using like being old versus like how you present yourself, right? If Joe Biden wasn't constantly doing the old man face, like, Like you could make the argument that like these guys are both old. Obviously, like Trump is even worse. See, he's got the Covfefe moments, right? Like, remember how much the media covered the Covfefe thing? How big a deal that was? That Donald Trump like typed Covfefe? What does it mean? Oh, what is happening? Like, Brandon has a Covfefe moment on a daily basis. All of that makes Trump look not as old in comparison, because the person who is like who he's going up against is demonstrably older than he is, like looks older than he is, acts older than he is.
On your screen there, 79% believe Biden's too old to be president, but the fact of the matter is 54%, a majority believe Trump is too old too. So voters would be very happy if we had two completely new guys, but the fact is they're stuck with two guys that the majority at least feel are too old.
My panel's back. Okay, what is your reaction to that?
Who among us?
I mean, look, of course, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. But, you do it when you're ridiculing the cognitive ability of your opponent. That's different.
Yeah, that's certainly a fair point. But I do think, honestly, the biggest test that we're going to see is this debate that's coming up, right? This is the earliest presidential debate, general election debate that, we've ever seen, at least in modern memory, right? So in terms of, cognitive test or whatnot, the proof is really going to be in how each candidate handles himself on that debate stage when they're contrasting ideas against each other and seeing who performs the best. So, we're going to have a true test coming up in the next week or so.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I broadly agree with that. But I mean, look, the entire thing is preposterous. Like the fact that you have Donald Trump up here arguing, we should take a cognitive test. My dear, dear friend whose name I can't remember or accurately repeat while I'm trying to dunk on Joe Biden. I mean, it's just like, it's embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing. It also kind of shows the futility, I think, of this line of attack. I mean, people see Joe Biden. They saw him on the world stage. They saw him at the G7. You had the Chancellor of Germany talking about how sharp Biden is, driving the allies forward as Russia is on the march. I mean, there are serious people attesting to Biden's capability in the job, and then you have Donald Trump up arguing that they should take a cognitive test and he can't even remember his doctor's name. It's embarrassing.
Bro, I'm sorry. This is like, how we talk about like Sean Hannity is like blowing bubbles on it whenever he talks about Donald Trump. How is this any different? She is gargling. Like, what the she's doing tricks on it. This is insane. I apologize for showing this audience without a trigger warning such pornographic materials, dude. Watch your words, law. Bro, are you kidding me? Watch my words. This level of dick right. I should be watching what I'm showing you. She said Joe Biden is, world leaders are constantly talking about how competent Joe Biden is, actually.
Of course, we'll assess that and come to the debate.
We all admire the U.S. Navy. So when you put a clip of someone in a naval uniform on television attesting to the mental fitness of Donald Trump, of course we believe it. And only some of us will remember, wait a minute, was that the guy who was busted from admiral to captain because of alcohol and sexual misconduct? Was that the guy who, as White House doctor, was prescribing dangerous drugs?
Oh, yeah.
He's right about this. This is the only argument. The doctor that he's talking about, who's now a Texas congressperson, literally was like Dr. Feelgood up in this bitch. There were New York Times reports on it where straight up he was just like giving everybody whatever drug you want.
At a rate 10, 100 times ever before seen in a White House. I worked in the Bush White House. The idea that I would go to the White House doctor and say, give me opioids, unimaginable. But lots of people, including maybe the president, were getting massive quantities, unprecedented quantities of drugs from that doctor's office. That was the doctor who signed his name to obvious lies about Trump's height and weight. We can all judge height and weight. Any one of us who's been to a county fair, and we can see that Donald Trump is not a prize heifer. But he signed his name. So it is amusing that Trump can't remember his name, but it's alarming what that person said. And when we play the clip, we have to have the context. That is not a person whose word you can take.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's all about expectation setting. And Trump...
I can't believe I'm saying this, but David Frum is right. He should be in prison. But this war criminal on this panel is 100% correct as far as like his analysis of the doctor. I hate it. I hate that he's right. For this specific issue and this way of like criticizing Trump, he's like, yeah, dude, your doctor that you're bringing up, whose name you can't even remember, literally is like Dr. Feelgood and was running the White House like a trap house. I hope that this will never happen again. I will never find myself saying David Frum was right. Trap Lord David Frum. Ketamine, Provigil, fentanyl, and shitload of benzos. Ronnie Jackson's prescription list looks more like a rave than the most important building in the U.S. government. Yep. The libs are right on this. 100%. The angry libs are 100% right on this, by the way. Ah!